guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and I'm back with another reaction to Krypton. And we're now in episode 8, which is called Savage Night. Things kind of really are kicking into gear now. We're getting very close to what's going to be the climax of the season. The biggest takeaways from the last episode, oops, that's loud. The biggest takeaways that I got from the last episode were basically we saw Adam kind of feeling sorry for himself over the fact that Seg was angry at him, which, I mean, I already talked a lot about that in the last review. It was kind of warranted in the sense that Adam should have been a little bit better and a little more prepared maybe with his case, but we know now that Adam's like, sorry, not Kandor in particular, but like all of Krypton has to be destroyed. Like that's the trajectory that needs to happen in order for Superman to be born and to have, you know, become the hero of Earth that he is now. So he has to somehow get in the way of Zod stopping Brainiac from doing what he has to do, so to speak. We know now also that Brainiac very brightly, after studying humanity and the people, well, not humanity, but Kryptonians for a while, he realized how important things like belief and religiosity and spirituality are to a good chunk of the people there. So he very smartly used his abilities to basically play into that belief and get a bunch of the Kandorian citizens to believe that, you know, he actually is a god and that, you know, anything he says is what they should be doing. So they're in a really tough bind now, Seg and his group, because now they've kind of lost that leverage they might have had to get the people to rise up against him. And they don't see him as a monster now, they see him as a god. And isn't that a fine line? But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into this because I'm really excited to see kind of where they're going to take it from here. So let's boot. Oh, we're going to a flashback right off the bat.
You steal our technology, disappear with it for years, and we're the assholes.
First of all,
so he didn't create it.
Traveling through space and time to save the freaking universe. So you like it or not, Sardath, I'm the best hope there is.
Green Lantern, right?
I was meant.
That girlish scream. Bless him.
You've said that speech before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen,
he just gave the black.
How soon do a wrangle beast's testicles go up into its cervix when she's
Kim. Yeah.
Wait, did he say testicles and cervix at the same time?
He tried to make us believe he'd been reborn. But then I saw what was happening in the Genesis chamber.
What's happening in the Genesis chamber?
I think he's sucking its energy dry. Using the embryos as batteries, getting stronger by draining the life from them.
Oh, that's a lot darker. I just thought maybe he was manipulating them into something else, but that's pretty terrible.
But they're not batteries, they're embryos. What happens to them?
What happens when you drain a battery?
The only way our species reproduces now is via the Genesis chamber. Without it,
But can't you do it other ways?
we have no future.
I don't know. I think Seg and Light have already figured out a workaround. Oh, he shaved and got a haircut. Look at that.
You look
Physical appearance is of no concern to me.
Really? Then why'd you get a haircut?
I'll recruit manpower from Black Zero.
Oh, hang on, we didn't agree to that.
I'm not asking.
Woo!
okay.
Wow. Okay, Seg. Didn't even try to fight that one.
Moving on to Sector 15.
I would think they would do more to actually cover their faces. I'm just saying.
Keep your eyes on me.
Okay, Nessa.
I'll be running around wild and free.
Might as well.
I'm driving.
Ooh, and your girl and your ex be fighting.
What? You've seen what it's like out there. Girls don't matter anymore. Neither do bindings.
Ooh. Catty. Yeah, you should set this one out, Seg.
I expected it to be me and Seg. But things never really turn out the way you expect, do they?
Interesting. So she was gonna take her daddy out. Look at just betrayal just running this family. Watch your back, Seg.
Try to keep up, princess.
Okay, calm down, Lyda. I mean, I feel you. I like the sass, but come on. She didn't ask to be in that position any more than you did. I mean, you did blow his arm off and leave him in the middle of the freezing cold. Now you're like, don't do this. Come on, Lyda. You think they have some way of like a stretcher or something? Whoa, what was this? Who's this? Who's this?
She's an even bigger fugitive than me right now.
How the tables have turned.
That's exactly why we're here.
Do not speak.
Oh!
Do you think I don't know about your recent behavior? Enemy.
The women in this show are savage and I love it. Can you stop bringing people to this? He really needs to stop just bringing people to this fortress. I'm serious. You brought...
Those years my father spent searching for this. I started to wonder if it was even real.
I think that was a mistake.
If you help us, Darrenbeck's is all yours.
Please. I have a feeling you will give him exactly what he deserves.
We are reborn. Through fire.
You're not gonna get her back, my friend. I'm sorry. She is so hardcore believing this right now.
Whatever happens, okay? You are always welcome back.
Aww. She's not coming back. Bye-bye, creepy child. Bye-bye.
Have you ever committed to anything in your life?
Likely not.
Adam.
Not even a
As soon as
haircut.
things get hard, you...
If you think that you can outsmart that creature you serve,
Stop! Uncuff him. Leave.
I feel like Adam just needs to take 5 minutes and maybe write out what he's actually supposed to say, because it just always comes out really dumb.
I know to ensure that he's out of Candor before it's taken.
Seg L. What does he have to do with this?
None of your business.
I tell you, but I don't want to.
Damn.
Don't be scared.
What's he benching?
You're not, and you will have given us the key to stopping the voice and saving Candor. If you don't want to do it, we can find another way, but we are running out of time.
Well, that's kind.
Blink once for yes,
2 for no.
twice for no.
Hell no!
We all could have the powers he has. Imagine the good that could do the universe.
Zod? Not so much. Oh, wow, a planet full of supers.
How did you survive?
The Phantom Zone.
Wow, I'm surprised at his honesty.
Sort of an extra dimensional
Prison?
abyss. There was one person on the council that I truly respected.
Jor-El?
Of course, he was the one who foiled my plans and sent me away. His name was Jor-El.
I can't tell what Jane is thinking right now.
Being led by...
We'll keep them busy down here. Give you a chance to get to the voice.
If Jaina dies for this bull, I swear to God. Oh, Jaina! Okay, girl. Yes. Yes. Is this the procedure or his neural link? Too slow. Check out that Matrix shit. Damn. Just drop him, please. Bye. Thanks for coming. Not really, though. So the good news is you're no longer being mind controlled. Bad news, you don't have an arm.
Your bravery has helped to save the lives of Candor's next generation.
And my arm. Who's gonna pay for that? I'm glad he didn't die, though. I like Dev. He's actually a pretty decent dude. Hey, Pops.
Hello, Father. How's your nose?
Hit it again.
Days.
Boop. Hey!
We have a lot of catching up to do.
I don't think you're gonna like it.
Take him.
Oh my God. She might be the next emissary.
Will you be okay?
See, this is exactly like it was in Avengers. Should have aimed for the head.
There is nothing to be afraid of, Anna.
Okay, except for the fact you look like Satan. Y'all celebrating real early when you haven't found the body. I hate to say it, but Zod's the only one on point right now.
I don't think he's come back to save Krypton's egg. I think he's come back to rule it.
I love that Jada's so smart. Jesus, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Push the little girl away.
Through fire, you are reborn.
Oh my God, he turned her into a bomb. No. Oh my God, no. That is so sad. Wow. Wow, Brainiac is petty. Oh, wow. Damn, wow. I did not expect that. Oh. Oh, no. Okay, where'd you Zeta beam yourself this time, dude? Who dis? Oh, time's frozen. That's not good. Who is this? Did he put himself to the future, maybe? Or present day Earth? Ah! Oh, okay. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. What? Okay, that was episode 8, which was called, Savage Night. And, that was really, wow, it got very interesting towards the end. Wow. This is good as the episode, I guess. That was pretty good. I like that there were kind of 2 plots going on the entire show. And there's a handful of things that actually kind of came out to me in this episode. I'll just jump right into it because I'm still, otherwise I'm gonna sit here and marinate on what's going on at this last one. So just overall, I just wanna give this show like more claps and kudos. They are so good at developing strong, amazing women. Like, I love that so many of the leaders that we've seen, so many of the people who are taking charge, the badasses, that they've been females in this show. And it's such a difference because typically in anything that's superhero related, it usually typically is led by a dude. And honestly, when this show started, way back when, it seemed like it was going to be very much about Seg and his journey, and it has been for a good portion of it. But he really is kind of like just part of an ensemble, and the rest of the ensemble, the majority of them are women, and they're so amazing. Seg's mom, Lyta's mom, Jaina, Nyssa, now this leader of Black Zero, I did not catch her name. Like, they're just all these amazing, strong women in their own right. You know, they're badasses, they're strong, they've got their own ambitions and agendas, and it doesn't have anything to do with guys that they're sleeping with or guys that they know, and that's amazing. That is so, so well done. Like, I feel like there's some really amazing women in the writer's room of Krypton, and they deserve all the kudos, and the show deserves all the kudos for allowing them to create these female characters that are so multi-dimensional and just able to just be really cool, like fully rounded characters. And not like, a lot of times too, when you see a woman who's supposed to be really strong and assertive and badass, kind of like your Jainas, they usually often forget to show that, you know, these women can also be soft and kind and nurturing. Now, in case of Jaina, I mean, she's kind of a poor example in that she really isn't a nurturer. And again, but it's not because she's a strong leader, right? Like, her lack of nurturing is because she was never taught to be a nurturer. Like, her family history has been that of being emotionally closed off and being very distant when it comes to those types of emotions. But, you know, but she still kind of broke the mold in that she still couldn't allow her one child to die, even though her honor would have demanded that that happen, right? So I just like that they're showing that these women can be very multifaceted. Even Nyssa in this episode, you know, we've seen that she can be very ambitious and very direct when necessary, but she also has this soft spot. She has affection for Seg. Who's Feg? She's also got affection even for her stupid weasel of a father, right? Like, it's just, I really, really like how the show continuously shows us that there's all these different types of female characters, and it's proving, in my opinion, there's no reason this should not be across the board in so many other television shows. There's so many TV shows out there that have great female actresses that are just not being utilized, and their characters are just not being brought to the level of being shown how badass and amazing and fully rounded they can be. So I really, really applaud Krypton, if nothing else, that this show's done such a fantastic job with female characters. I haven't seen one yet that I've really disliked. Even though Nissa's not like high on my list, I still really respect her as a character and love the way she's bebeing portrayed, and the actress who's playing her is doing a bang up job. So anyway, I just wanted to just go on my little happy, like, you know, praises on the females, because they're all savages, they're all beautiful, they're all amazing. I want to see more female characters like this in all of my favorite shows, people. I'm talking to you, Flash. I kind of have an issue with Seg, who keeps bringing people to the fortress. Like Lyta, I get, you know, him and Lyta, they've known each other their whole lives. They've got a bond. They're clearly in love with each other. I was okay with Lyta because I believe Lyta would protect the secret of the fortress with her life. I don't know if I agree with bringing Nyssa there. The reason I say Nyssa, and before somebody will say, well, look, she's been, look she's done. Like, I'm not saying that Nyssa has any intent to hurt Seg or anybody in Seg's life at the moment. I do believe she really is committed to whatever's best for, in her mind, for Kandor. But the downside to that is that she is someone who's not opposed to doing things underhanded and deception and double talk. Like, my point is, she's not that far off from her father. I mean, she does have her limits, thank God. You know, she wouldn't necessarily maybe go to the lengths her father has to get what she wants, but she's not above some of the less savory behavior, let's say, to get her the means to her ends. So I don't 100% believe that she's not going to be interested in potentially using that chamber in the future. She knows what it means. Like, she's heard her father talk about it her entire life. I can't think that even right now, as everything's going on, that her mind isn't thinking, now that I know where this thing is. And that whole speech she had with her and her father there at the end, where she's like, I don't want to just survive, Dad. I want more than that. Do her ambitions just go away? And I don't think they do. I think especially now that she's armed with the knowledge of knowing that the fortress exists, where it is, and that all this technology that Els had kept hidden to this point is available. I can't think that she's not going to try to get at it again. It kind of comes back to when Seg was saying to Nyssa in the last episode, where she's like, you can't trust her because she's a Vex. And he's like, well, you know, he's like, a Zod killed my parents. So I'm like, it's like, if I look at all the petty stuff that people's families have done, you know, I'm not going to have a lot of friends left in this world right now. So it does put Seg in a precarious position, but I really don't think it was a good idea for him to bring Nyssa there. I know he didn't have anywhere he could put her, really, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like that's going to come back to bite him in the ass at some point. And also her obsession with their child all of a sudden seems very strange. But again, I mean, I don't know. Let me just put, you know, give a little teeny tiny bit of benefit of the doubt for Nyssa. Maybe she really is interested in having Seg as a partner, and she's okay with the idea of joining these two houses to go forward. And I think her political aspirations, like she mentioned in the skimmer, where she's like, I saw you and me, Seg, being the leaders of Kandor. I don't think she's given up on that yet, despite Lyta being salty the whole episode. Which, let's give 5 minutes, just a little bit of a shout out. I mean, I can't hate on Lyta. I mean, I don't like it when girls fight amongst themselves, especially over a man. Like, it's never worth it. Like, never fight over a guy like that, ladies. But I had to give her, because Lyta's usually just so put together and so, like, focused on the bigger picture. But I love that in this episode, she was a little bit like, I know who you are, girl. I know, like, you've been sitting there, like, eyeing my man, and I'm not about it. You know, and I love that she's like, oh, by the way, if the guilds don't even exist after all of this, these union things don't have to stand. I can marry who I want, and I've had my hand on this man for a while now. Okay, so I loved it. I thought it was kind of cute to see Lyta act her age a little bit, and just unfortunately as humans, you know, we have our moments where we're just a little less than gracious. She was a little petty this episode, but I couldn't hate on it. It was funny to watch. And I love how Seg after a while was just like, oh, wow, it's kind of warm in here. Let's just figure out how these vents work. Yeah, it's very interesting that she's put a lot of stock into whoever this child is. Corvex, I think they said his name is going to be. Whether or not he exists, we don't know now, though. The fact that they had a lot of time shown to the emissary being in the Genesis chamber, not once, for at least it seems like it was daily for the last almost 2 weeks. He's been in that Genesis chamber charging up. I mean, maybe he did alter the DNA of some of the children. It's possible. Maybe he contaminated them somehow. That would work to Brainiac's advantage, to just go ahead and pollute the next generation before they're even born. But if he is really just draining them like batteries, there's a very good chance that I just feel like they made sure to show that in order to let like us as an audience know that maybe the kids that have been created may not all make it, or that potentially we might lose the Genesis Chamber before the end of the season's out. I don't know. That kind of brings me to the whole thing with Jaina and Zod. And I have to say, first and foremost, I was shocked that Zod was so honest with everything. I thought he was gonna lie. I honestly thought he was gonna be creative with the truth, but I guess he felt like, hey, this is a fellow Zod, she's gonna be on my side, she's not gonna want her grandson to die, right? But I love that Jaina from the get-go has not liked him. Like, she's been giving Zod, she's been giving him the side eye for some time now. So I wasn't sure in that whole conversation if she felt like, especially since, you know, she's kind of in the same shoes as he is, and that she did try to commit, you know, to do a coup and, you know, is now on the wrong side of the law, that she probably would empathize with Zod. But I love that she was like, something isn't right about this kid. There's something off about him that I just don't like. And I love that at the end, she showed that she was observing, and she was really smart like that. Like, remember I said in the episode that I can't read her face right now. I can't tell if she's proud or disappointed, but she's smart enough not to be like, what? I think what Zod didn't anticipate or didn't realize is that Jaina actually was a friend to the elves. The Zods and elves have always gotten along. We know this because of the whole Brainiac chain, or the Doomsday Chamber, right? They've always had a close relationship. So Zod probably underestimated how much Jaina respected the elf family, and I'm glad that she didn't look at what he said as, oh, that elf family always trying to hurt my people. I'm glad that she went to them. She's like, Seg, because we know she does like Seg. Really, he's a little annoying, but overall, I think she likes him because her daughter likes him, and she's like, listen, Seg, just so you know, I think your boy might have been right, because I don't think Zod came back here to save Kandor or any of the things he told you. I think he has his own motives because he was an exile of Kandor, actually of Kryptonopolis. So that's a whole other story. So I love that, you know, now of course poor Adam is validated, but God, Adam, this episode. You know, a few really early in the season, I had my rant about Seg. This is now the Adam rant episode. Overall, I feel like this character should have been written a little bit better. Now, I don't know how Adam was in the comics. I haven't read the comics. I don't know the kind of character he is. I don't know if this is very similar or very close to the way he is in the comics. But as it stands in this show, I'm having a really hard time figuring out why he's there or what purpose he's really serving. And that's not anything to the actor or whatever. It's just overall the way that he's been edited into the show. He kind of pops up at random moments. He doesn't really offer any real help or support. And when he goes around in an episode like this one and he's like, I'm a hero, I'm gonna be a hero, look what I'm gonna accomplish, this is why I did this. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen, like, show it to me, show. Like, so far I've just seen Adam whine, complain, yell, and give up terrible arguments as to why people should listen to him. And I get it, like, in the end, I mean, if they're trying to develop the whole idea that, oh, here's Adam who's never really been heroic and he's trying to build his way to becoming this heroic person, then you need to show me more of what makes him a hero and not just have him give speeches about how he's going to be a hero. Because the actions I've seen of Adam have really not lined up with that so far. He just seems very immature, kind of impulsive, and just not very useful. And I mean, I get that he had to make something happen because he knows the future and he knows certain things have to occur, but he could be so much further along with Seg and that gang if he would just be more articulate or take more time to actually talk about what's going on rather than just having these kind of like seizing type of Tourette's moments where he just blurts out a bunch of random stuff. And then of course everything kind of makes it seem like, and he's also very like oblivious to what's actually happening. Like, I understand that he's very worried about Superman in the future, but you can't get people to trust and help you if you're not aware of what they're going on, like what's going on in their life, if you have no empathy for them. And he just is, I have not yet seen him really take time to be empathetic to what's going on with the Kandorians right now versus where he wants things to be in the future. So that's why I couldn't even be that upset when he got yelled at for being selfish when, you know, I can't remember his name, was looking for Ona. It's like, dude, people's lives are happening like in this timeline. Even though you're from the future, you have to realize for the Kandorians, this is the present. And things that they care about, people that they care about are still going on and existing right now. And it's not gonna be easy for them to just be like, oh, to hell with that. because you said this, right? They have no basis for that, and Adam hasn't worked on giving them a basis to believe that we've seen. I just feel like overall Adam just needs to maybe some better development. I do want them to take time to really flesh Adam out a little bit more. We have enough room on this show. Like, if he's going to be a major part of what, like, this was kicked off everything in this show, we need him to be as developed as we've seen some of the other side characters. I need to believe that he really is here to help out, because as it stands right now, I feel like he's just kind of floating around the plot, and then when he does have these moments where he's kind of really in there, it just kind of feels like he's just imposing, and then he's just being really, really annoying and unreasonable. And I don't think it's supposed to be that way, and I don't want to feel it that way about him. I think he should be a really fun and interesting character. Just a quick question out there. He mentioned the name, like I heard when he was in that big white tube thing, it sounded like one of the Green Lanterns were talking to him. I might be wrong about that, but it sounded like a name that I remember hearing in the Green Lantern verse. So please tell me if I'm right about that. As well, if you could let me know, the name Alana, I think, came up. There was a woman who spoke. Who's that? Because at first when I heard the accent, I'm like, oh, Wonder Woman? But I'm like, no, this isn't the Justice League. But he did mention the Justice League last episode, how they didn't approve of him coming or something. If you know who that woman was or have any speculations, please leave that below. I'm very curious. I want to know who's watching Adam and who's able to pull him out of time and space in order to give him a reckoning. I guess finally, just that little ending scene with Ona, I was genuinely shocked by that. Like, I had a feeling Ona was not gonna make it, but more in the sense of I thought that Brainiac was gonna either overtake her or absorb her, because it really seemed like he was fascinated. I wouldn't say fond of, like, you know, that one other follower that kind of was sleeping in the garbage. Well, she was like, oh, Brainiac likes her, or whatever, Rao likes her. I'm like, I don't think he likes anyone. I think he's devoid of emotion. But he seemed fascinated with Ona, so I thought, okay, maybe he's going to absorb her or collect her because she was so willing to do whatever. I never thought for a millisecond that he would use her as a human bomb. Like, wow, and a child, like, that's crazy. That's so dark. That is so dark. I mean, believable, but dark. I just really didn't think the show would go there. That was crazy. So sad. And so sad that, why can't I think of his name? I'm so upset that Seg's best friend, who just loved her like a little sister, for him to have to watch that happen. Like, and it shows, although I say that Brainiac's devoid of emotion, but sending Ona to the people that she cared about to blow them up, that was petty. That was a petty thing to do. Brainiac claims to be so above everything and so much better, and yet he was petty enough to kill a child, which, I mean, I guess in his mind, a child growing up doesn't much matter, but still, to send a child to the people he knew that they had an emotional connection with and try to blow them all up. That was some petty, petty, petty shit right there. Brainiac is petty. Brainiac be upset. Anyway, that was this episode. I kind of talked a lot about it, but there was just quite a few things that came to the forefront in this episode. It was really fun to watch. Like I said, it brought up some really cool things. It's just gearing up here for episode 9. So I hope you like watching this video along with me. And if you like this video, please click like. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time, see ya.